Fear No Gumbo. Yes, best documentary at the Hip Hop Film Festival. Kimberly, how are you?
Me, I am magnificently terrific. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
So tell us about this Fear No Gumbo.
Fear No Gumbo is a documentary that I started making about 4 years ago. It's a sequel to my first film called Trouble the Water, which was Academy Award nominated.
Yes, we know.
We've been winning. And we also won the Sundance Best Documentary Prize. It's a story which I take folks on a journey through my neighborhood, through my community, and a lot of different politics and a lot of different things that's holding the community down. So after the award ceremony from the Oscars and everywhere I went and had experienced my level of success, my plan was to go into the community and try to help change it to make a better place for my daughter, who is Sky. Come on, Sky.
Come on, Scott. Don't be nervous.
Come on, girl.
Don't bite your girl. Stop acting up, girl.
Yeah, for my baby Sky to live at, and just to make the community a better place because I had a voice. I had a voice now. I had a platform. Folks heard me when I talked. So, and then that's what Fear No Gumbo is about. It's about a black woman coming to a community, experiencing success, and using that success to try to change the politics and the things that held the community down for many years. When she was a young woman.
And who is this you have you behind you?
This is my husband, Scott Michael Roberts, of 20 years. He co-produced. And my daughter, she's also one of the stars of the film.
Oh,
and,
nice.
It's a whole family thing, a whole black family thing
That's
we're
what's
doing
up.
here. Yeah, you're right. I need you to step to the side, honey. Yeah, thank you,
Turn
baby.
around so they can see her.
Yeah.
So
man.
where did the title come about, Fear No Gumbo?
Fear No Gumbo. It was the fear. It's fear that divides people. It's fear that fuels racism, classism, all sexism, isms. Period. So the gumbo part, New Orleans gumbo, of course. Gumbo is a mixture of a whole different spices, meats, seasonings, etc. So the documentary was something like a gumbo. We had a whole bunch of stories that we was trying to entwine into one big purpose, and the purpose was to share our stories of the community, but also inspire people to come down and do something about the community. The lower ninth ward was the hardest hit area during Hurricane Katrina. 90% African American, 88% homeowners. It's the only community on the Gulf Coast that has not recovered from Hurricane Katrina. So what we did was went through the community, started filming, started talking to people. And we realized that people had stories that they need to be told. Folks need to know what happened to the Lower Ninth Ward. Folks need to know what happened in terms of the stories, the culture, how folks came down there, was culture vultures, sucked on the culture, took and stole from the people, stole their stories, tried to run away from the culture, and no one was able to do anything about it. So when I went down and started filming, people began to talk with me and discuss what was happening down there and trusted me with the opportunity to film their stories and not just tell them, but get folks involved. Like the whole Fear No Gumbo is about getting involved. Like, okay, yeah, we see these stories. We see how the community wasn't built. We see how the kids are going to play parks in which they have to play in feces and urine. You know what I'm saying? And no one is doing anything about it. We see how the community, they're dumping dead bodies in the community and no one is doing anything about it because the grass is overgrown. So the goal is, we see this, but how can we come together as a community and do something? You got Puerto Rico that's recovering from Harvey. You got parts of Texas and Florida that's recovering from Harvey. So how can we use the story of New Orleans 13 years after Hurricane Katrina as a platform to start discussing disaster recovery? How can we start using this as a film as a platform to discuss that? Also, how can we discuss intellectual property again? Fair use. One of the scenes, we had a professor that come from, Georgetown University, came down from Georgetown University and stole my stuff. What he did was my film Trouble the Water, he used little thumbnails from the documentary, saw the documentary and rewrote the documentary, put it in a book and sold it and kind of came to New Orleans and called itself doing a book release party. And a friend of mine happened to tell me, girl, I saw your pictures from your film on Facebook. So I'm like, what? So I go down there, and she was like, they having a party and everything, you should come down. So I came down because I just happened to be filming that week for the Jazz Inheritance Festival. So we go in there, I had about 3 shooters. They are set up in different locations, and we all went in, and I confronted the guy about stealing my intellectual property. Not to be a spoiler, but Fear No Gumbo embodies those stories and invite folks to come out and let's have these discussions about fair use again. and how it looks for professors and people of power, predominantly white, coming in black communities and is taking what they want after disasters. My goal is to get laws passed to protect people. My goal is also to get folks who have the power to make the change, which is the people, to see what's happening so we all could fight against the powers that be that allow this type of, I want to say raping, but I'm going to say raping of the community after the disaster. Yeah, absolutely. It is raping.
I know that because of the music scene, the Ninth Ward is a very popular place in New Orleans.
Absolutely.
With a lot of people with a lot of money have come out the Ninth Ward, made light of the Ninth Ward. Years ago, before Katrina, after Katrina, what kind of celebrity backing are you having? Is anybody reaching out to you like, here, this is what this is, I'll help you with this, or anything like that?
Well, first of all, this is my premiere. I premiered my documentary here, so y'all was the first to see the hip hop film.
Thank you.
And look, the first screening, what we do, we
Right,
walk away
right.
with the W. You heard me? So this is a very powerful and important film, and I'm looking for any celebrity that's really about business, that's really about helping help the documentary go further, supporting financially, backing. I'm inviting that. Distributors, investors, fearnogumbo@gmail.com is my email. How about you even call me, 504-541-7359, serious inquiries only. But we're looking for people who are passionate about helping the community and using film as a tool to help the community
Make
like
light
we
of
are.
it, Right.
Yeah.
Tell them your Instagram also, along with you gave us the email address and the phone number, your Instagram.
Oh yeah, I gave y'all my phone number. I'm real with this. My Instagram is Queen Cole Medina. That's Cole with a K, KOLDMADINA. Also, Facebook is Black Cole Medina, and everything else is Fear No Gumbo. BornHustlerRecords.com. You can go on there and learn about who I am as an artist, musician. I also did the soundtrack for Fear No Gumbo. The music you heard in the documentary is on the Fear No Gumbo album, and you can holler at me tonight and get a copy of that, or you can go on YouTube and check it out.
Okay.
And the Fear No Gumbo music video, which is very important, you should go on YouTube and see the Fear No Gumbo music video also.